I would just look up there at those bags of blood and go, thank you. You know, just appreciative, thankful that somebody took the time out of their day and made a schedule and went and donated blood. You know, I was working full-time, but then I started noticing things. My gums were bleeding, and I just kept shoving it off. Then I was losing weight. None of the doctors, nobody could diagnose what was wrong. I went almost a whole year of losing weight, turning yellow, my eyes yellow, just sick all the time. And we go on an annual trip down to Fort Myers Beach years ago, and I was so sick. And the doctor said, before you go, I want you to have your first transfusion. I don't think your hemoglobin's gonna hold out. So we went down there, and sure enough, I ended up in the ICU. They ran every test there was, and I was in ICU for 5 days. And they came back and they said, you need to go home and get on a transplant list. You're in liver failure.
So Gift of Hope is the organ procurement organization for the upper 3/4 of Illinois, as well as Lake County, Indiana. Every organ donation in those areas goes through Gift of Hope. We coordinate the process from start to finish. So we know that every 2 seconds, somebody in the United States needs a blood transfusion. What we don't know, though, is how often somebody in the United States is needing an organ transplant. Currently, there's over 100,000 people just in the United States waiting for a life-saving organ transplant. Every single one of those organ recipients will likely need a blood transfusion.
I would go in and get, I think every 2 weeks they do my blood work. And it got more frequent as time went on. And they would always check my hemoglobin, my platelets. And it got to the point where I would get my blood drawn, go back to my office downtown. I'd go to St. Francis to get my blood drawn, go to work downtown. I'd no longer get my coat off or whatever, sit down, and my phone's ringing. You need to get in and get blood. Your hemoglobin's really low. You got to get in right now. And so that started a long course of that happening a lot. And it got to be almost every couple days towards the end. I believe what was 140 units I used over the course of the time.
Without donated blood, organ transplant cannot happen. If there isn't enough blood available on the shelves, then there can't be enough blood for the organ transplant. Every organ transplant requires between 2 and 16 units of blood. That's a lot of blood when you take into perspective that one person can only donate every 56 days 1 unit.
And so then I got on the list at UIC in May of 2016, and I was transplanted that September 2016. Our donor's name is Tom. He was a 25-year-old young man that died in a tragic accident. But that gift has been, I have a relationship with his dad. And he said something to me when we did a mutual presentation one time, and he said, you know what, Susie, I don't need a park bench with Tom's name on it. I don't need a tree planted, because I have you. I have you to show me the gift that my son gave every day.
So I'm a huge advocate for blood donation and obviously registering as an organ donor. I would urge everyone to educate themselves about both blood donation and organ donation, the process for both, and come to an informed decision to register for their next blood drive and donate blood, as well as register as an organ donor.